Hoss! Hello Shotokan karate family, welcome to another class. Today we're looking into kicking, so keri. We try to stretch ourselves a bit more so that we can reach our limit and actually extend our limit in how high and how far we can kick. So let's start with a short warm-up. Let's start from head to toe. So first, say some nose for a quick neck warm-up. Try to stay relaxed. Keep breathing. You can close your eyes. And some yeses. Now rotate your head. I heard my neck popping. Maybe you heard yours too. Just don't overdo it. Okay, now shoulders. Shoulder rolls backwards. Do really big shoulder rolls so that your extension, your muscles are really extended. You get some dynamic stretching in here. I feel my neck muscles tensing up. That's fine. And let's switch direction, do shoulder rolls forward. Let's move our elbows. And stretch out our arms. Now begin with small circles backwards and then enlarge the circles so that they get quite big. You can also add flexing your knees so that your whole body moves in sync with your arms while you do arm swings and switch direction forward. And yame. Next, chest and stomach. Let's go to the ground, do some push-ups. Ready? Let's do 20 of them. Ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, ju, and ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, and ju. Now for the stomach, let's lie on the ground and do some sit-ups. This time we place our feet flat on the ground. We hold on to our head close to our ears and do quick sit-ups. We don't need the full extension of the sit-up. We just need this initial quick explosion of the movement triggered by your belly muscles. Ready? And ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, ju, ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, and ju, and ich, ni, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, ju. So now we've invested some time into our belly. Let's invest some time and strengthen our back muscles. Just lay on the ground, have your feet flat on the ground and push your hips up. So really push as far as you can. You can feel with your hands how your lower back is really doing some work here. Maybe you already feel it. Maybe you're strong. Don't feel it yet. Let's keep it like that for a couple of seconds more. Just warm up our core, the belly, front muscles, and the back, the lower back. Very important also, lower back in your daily life if you lift some stuff. We don't want to end up with a chronic back pain, so strengthening your lower back is definitely one thing that is always on my list. So if you don't, what happens to me is if I'm not attentive, then my hips tend to come down. I really have to stay with my thoughts, with what I'm doing, and push up my hips. So now let's stand on one foot and stretch, straighten the other leg, and slowly go down and straighten the second leg. For me it's the left now. And again, other leg. Stay up, stay high with your hips. And change again. And both legs on the ground again. Push up again. Last couple of seconds. Slowly come down. Feel your muscles relaxing. And slowly get up on your feet again. Next, we're stretching our hips. So we do hip rotations. In this type of hip rotation, the torso stays fixed. Your head doesn't really move, but your torso, your hips actually circle around the center between your feet. And switch direction. Yummy. Next, we're going down to the quadriceps. Let's warm up the quads by doing some squats. So push your hands flat to each other in front of your sternum. Go as deep as you can. This is also a stretch for your hand, for your wrist. And on my count, let's go to a knee deep position. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. So let's try to have our upper body, our torso relaxed and straight. We don't want to lean down with it too much. Let's do some more. Ich, ni, san, shi, go. And rock, sich, hach, Q, Ju. Now let's go down and stay low and do some bouncing. Yummy. Go up again. Next, we stand on two legs, have a close stance, and do some leg swings, really relaxed leg swings. We don't want to extend right now very much. Just swing our legs back and forth. Just the right one first. Now, farther and farther. Try to extend the range. Try to extend the range by changing the angle of your hips. keep balance. If you need, take a chair or lean on the wall. Hold on to something close to you. And yame. Same thing on the other side. Hold on to something if you want. And relaxed. Leg swings. After a couple of seconds, when you found your balance, try to extend the range of your leg. Try to extend it with your hip fixed, and then with your hip changing the angle. So helping the foot and the leg go higher and higher in both directions. And yummy. So next, let's go again to the hips. Let's lift the first leg, go out with it and down again. So this is called knee out. If you want, you can hold on to something. If you have a good balance, then try not to touch the ground. When you go back, when you go to the side and down again, it works better if you look straight ahead and not to the ground. And the other leg. So with this, we're warming up our hips. Get the blood flowing in our hips too. Move the elbow out of the way. Next, our calves. Let's do some calf raises. Just stand on both legs and push yourself up. Let's do this in a bit more dynamic motion. Just walk on your toe tips as high as you can and stretch to the sky. Let's go down to the middle again and raise, do calf raises. Now we have walked on our toe tips. Now let's really invest some energy in your calves so that they begin to burn a bit, really get warm. And yummy. Next, our knees. Let's touch our knees, have a straight upper back, and do knee rolls. With this, we also engage our feet. So all the tendons in our feet, all the muscles are also warmed up to a certain degree. Because of the sideways movement that we do with these knee rolls. Now switch direction. And yummy. Now let's go into a crane stance. So on one leg, like this. When you found your balance, then put your foot in front of your knee, grab it and extend it into all directions by doing some foot rolls. So we want to warm up the rest of our foot and switch direction. And stand on the other leg, do a Tsuru Achidachi, crane stance, then put your foot in front of your knee, grab it and roll it, so foot rolls. Try to have a straight back here, deep breathing into your belly. And yame. So now, next what we do is we stand on one leg, then we lift our knee to the side, we put the lower leg in a horizontal position, grab close to our ankle or our shin and pull up. So we want to pull our upper leg as high as possible while still maintaining a good balance. If this goes without stretching to you, then just pull more until you feel stretch somewhere. Yame, switch. So up, put it in a horizontal position, grab your ankle or your shin and pull up as far as you can without losing your balance so that you feel a stretch somewhere. We don't want to stop breathing. Put your attention on your breath. Yummy. Now let's do some more dynamic leg swings. Let's go into a Zenkutsu Dachi position. As you know it, all the time we do leg swings. And each knee. San, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, ju, and each knee, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, and ju. The other leg, here of course, you can also focus on what your hips are doing. Your hips are always going from shomen to hanmi, and make sure that your head is not popping forward, but just staying upright together with your upper body, with your torso. Let's go leg swings with your left side. Each knee, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, ju, and each knee, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hach, kyu, and ju. So let's add a bit of a flow to our heart. So let's do some jogging in place so that our heart is also can start beating a bit faster so that we are ready for the class. Jogging in place or do small circles depending on how much space you have at home or wherever you train. If you're in the park, you know, you can also do some rounds. Couple of minutes, press break, press pause here and come back to the class later. Okay, let's put our heels close to our lower back. And raise our knees. And yame. So we've done some dynamic stretching now. Let's see how this dynamic stretching is actually necessary to go up in height of our Mai Geri for our front kick. So let's do some front kicks. Stand straight, raise our knee, slowly kick out into Mai Geri Keage. So we change each time. We change the foot that kicks each time. Up, out, back, down. Up, out, back, down. With each kick, try to go a bit higher. See how high you can go without losing your posture, without tearing something, without hurting yourself. Breathe out on each kick. Keep the rest of the body relaxed. Five more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yummy. So we've invested some time now into reaching a higher height in our Mai Geri Keage. Let's see what we can do with Mai Geri Kekomi. Mai Geri Kekomi, as opposed to Mai Geri Keage, you know it. Kekomi means thrust, so pushing out. Imagine somebody coming towards you with a knife or wanting to attack you. What do? You raise your knee and you push out with your whole body. So your hips push out. Right? If you're in opposition to the snapping kick, the Mai Geri Keage, where you lift and only the lower part of your leg moves out, snaps, comes back immediately so that your opponent cannot grab it, and you go back down again. So again, the difference, really important. Keage, Kekomi. So let's go into Mai Geri Kekomi. Let's focus on what we do with our knee first. So let's go into a standing position here. Have your feet pretty close. Subodachi. Up, out, and back again. Up, out, and back again. Up, out, and back again. Out. Let's do this a couple of times. On your knee. Focus on your knee. The higher you pull your knee in the beginning, the higher you're able to kick. So if you have a really big opponent that comes towards you, you don't want to kick between his legs, that they won't do anything. But if you kick the air between his legs, a bit higher, maybe yes, if you're lucky. You want to grab him here, you want to touch him here in the belly region, where most of his weight is concentrated. So, or even higher, solar plexus would also be good. So let's try to get a high kick here. Raise your knee high and then push out as high as you can. Raise, push. So with what do you actually stop your opponent? There are several possibilities. Usually we try to hit with the ball of our feet. Sometimes it's also necessary to hit with the heel of our feet. The heel is just, I don't know, 20 centimeters lower. Depends on where you want to actually hit him and how big he is. If he's bigger, then it's better to hit him with the ball of your foot because you have like 10 centimeters more or 20 distance. Just repeat. Hit with the heel and with the ball. If you have a hanging bag or a bob, that's pretty good. Practice hitting your bob. Now let's change to hitting your opponent with the heel. Focus on your hips. Really thrust out your hips in order to get more momentum. More weight of your body is pushing towards your opponent and you have a bigger reach. Your head is farther away from him. And yummy. Now we've invested some energy, some focus in our upper legs. Let's do some quad stretches, some static quad stretches in the middle of our class. Calm our minds. Calm our breath. And switch leg. Feel the stretch. If you don't feel it enough, just pull a bit more. And yummy. So now we've looked at Mai Geri Keage and Mai Geri Kekomi. Let's look at another kick. It's called Yoko Geri. For Yoko Geri is a side kick. Yoko means side in Japanese. There are again two versions of Yoko Geri. One is Yoko Geri Keage, the snap kick. And one is Yoko Geri Kekomi, the thrust kick, like we had in Mai Geri. Let's repeat how this works. Yoko Geri Keage. We go into a Tsuru Achidachi with 45 degrees angle out of your knee. And then we just snap our leg out with a bit of a hip turn. And go down again. Up, out, down. Up, out, down. Let's do this repetition for a couple of times so that we get into this kick again. Gradually we try to increase the height of our kick so that we will end up with a higher kick than we started. And yummy. So now let's do the other direction. So now I started with my right leg. You can start with your other leg now. I choose my left leg up into Tsuru Achidachi with a hip turn to the side and down again. So we really thrust our kick out. We start the movement with a movement from the hips. Stay with it. Stay with me. Here this is a class. Stay with me with everything I do. So gradually now, let's increase the height of our kick so that we started with a lower kick and end with a higher kick. And 3 more. And last one. Yummy. So that was Yoko Geri Keage, sorry. The snapping kick to the side. As we've seen in Mai Geri Keage, out back. You see here, out back down again. Now, the second kind of Yoko Geri is the side kick, the thrusting side kick. Yoko Geri Kekomi. Here it works a bit differently. Again, let's repeat. Lift your knee, 90 degrees angle to your hips, as high as you can. Look to the side, push out and go back again. Here again, your foot should be horizontal on impact. Here, you want to have impact with the sotuko. So this is the blade. The edge of your foot, with the upper edge of your foot. This is the impact area. So let's try, go low and then gradually increase the height of our Yoko Geri Kekomi. Hitch, knee, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, Q, Shu, hitch, knee, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, Q, and Shu. So some breathing, let's do some focus. Focus and relax, focus, recharge. Now you know what's coming. Yoko Geri Kekomi on the left side. I start with my right. Just choose the one where you haven't started with. So up, out, back down again. Here again, let's start with a low Yoko Geri Kekomi. And then gradually, as we reach our 20 kicks, we go as high as possible so that we start this drill. We stop this drill with a higher kick than when we started. Ready? Hitch, knee, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, Q, Shu, and each, knee, san, shi, go, rock, sich, hutch, Q, and you. Focus and recharge. So that was the class content about how we can increase our kicks. So let's do some dynamic stretching to cool down and go ahead with the rest of our life. So stand in a Sensei position, hips in your on your hand, go a bit farther apart into a Kibadachi, parallel stance, and do some dynamic hip socket stretches. Make sure that your feet stay planted on the ground. Go into the maximum extension of your hip socket and add some speed slowly. Your head doesn't need to turn actually, it's your hip that needs to turn. You can bend your knees. That's all, everything is okay here. Just make sure your feet are planted firmly on the ground. Okay, let's go a bit farther apart. And let's touch the ground. Slowly go down. With our hands, touch the ground. Go down as far as you can. Feel the stretch in your hamstrings. Now go to one side. Either mirror me or go to the right foot. Go as deep as you can. Feel the stretch. Pull your stomach, your belly towards your upper leg and back to the middle again. And to the other side, push your belly towards your knee. Go as deep as you can with your hand. No bending of your knees, please. And to the middle. Now sit on the ground. Stay on the balls of your feet and push out your knees with your elbows. Now sit on the ground. So this is a static stretch again. Just take your right foot, put it left of your left knee, and then with your left elbow, push the knee out so that you feel the stretch in your lower back. Try to have an upright, straight back here. And switch. So your right foot outside of your left foot outside of your right knee. With your right elbow, you push your left knee towards the right. You look back towards the left over your left shoulder and feel the stretch in your lower back or also outside of your hips. So this was a quick cool down. Let's finish this class on a high note and let's do one final round of dynamic kicking for each kick. And we do 3 kicks, and on the 3rd kick we have a loud kiai coming from the stomach. And with this our class will be over. So 1 round of Mai Geri Keage. So first Rei, Yoi, Ketambarai Kamete, Mai Geri Keage 3 times, 3rd time with a loud kiai. Ich, ni, san, hai, mate. Now 3 Mai Geri Kekomi with a 3rd Kekomi with a loud kiai. Ich, ni, and san, hai. Mate. And yame. Rei, Yoi. Now let's go to the Yoko Geris. Let's do 3 Yoko Geri Keage, then 3 Yoko Geri Kekomi coming back. Rei, Yoi, Kibadachi Kamate, Let's step over, back or front, and then do a Yoko Geri Keage. Third time with a Keage. Ich, ni, san, ai. Maote. Find a good position. Now, towards the end of our class, one last thing. Let's do these 3 Yoko Geri Kekomis with full energy and with a loud Kiai coming with full energy from your belly. Mai Geri Kekomi to the left. Ich, is, ni, is, san, hai. Maote. Yame, Rei, and Yoi. So this was a short class about kicking, about the range of motion, what we can do to improve the range of our kicks, get higher kicks, get farther kicks that can reach farther. In short, let's do stretching, let's do strengthening of our muscles, and then let's repeat these kicks for dozens, for hundreds of times, and then we will finally reach the height and the range that we want. So I hope you had fun and learned something. See you in the next class. Os!